A few days ago, I created a video called No Service in Yosemite in the Gabby Petito case. I talked about how connecting some dots led me to the opinion that that text was not a text but a tagline. It's intentional and meant to be cryptic. Then, after that video, comments came flooding in about another odd text that was made public. The text said, "Can you help Stan? I just keep getting his voicemails and missed calls." Now, according to Gabby's mom, Stan is Gabby's grandfather, but Gabby doesn't call him that. And I am hearing some chitter-chatter that Stan did not make any voicemails or calls to Gabby. I need to 100% confirm that, but this is what I'm hearing. But in my video, I show the connection between Stan and an Eminem video, a song about an abusive guy named Stan who is obsessed with Eminem. Stan changed himself to become like Eminem, and he ended up killing his pregnant girlfriend by putting her in the trunk and driving off of a bridge and mentioning the word suffocate. One of the things that I had wondered if that's what happened to Gabby. Not about the bridge, but if she was suffocated or strangled. We don't know yet. We do know Brian was abusive, and more reports are flooding in, and we know Gabby was killed. Now, it's important to see both of my previous videos because you will see what my thought process is and how I arrived to this video and how it connects. Those links will be in the description box below, or you can see that at the end of this video. So now we look at 3 simple stickers. Stickers from Gabby's van that didn't show up until after the 27th of August. And the 27th of August is when the Stan text showed up, and the 30th is when the Yosemite text did. We know that Brian drove Gabby's van to Florida without her, and we know she was recently found deceased in the area where the van was last seen. Now let's take a look at the new stickers. In this pic, you can see the van, and there are only 2 stickers on the van at this point. You can also see it on this body cam footage video. In this pic, you can see the new stickers when authorities took possession of the van. There are 3 new stickers. And it's strange, isn't it? Gabby is gone, she's dead, and now you're adding 3 new stickers to her van. It's just interesting. There could be many reasons why he would want to do that, right? Or are there? Let's take a closer look because I found something. Some called my last video a stretch, and they're skeptical and said I'm reaching. But this guy's pretty sneaky. You may not think I'm reaching after this one. Now, before I walk you through this, I want to say this. After looking back at those 2 videos about the 2 texts and talking about Brian having patterns, not only do I think he's clever, but he's taunting us and the authorities. And at this point, I think he's one disturbed individual, in my opinion. I also think that if we can see these patterns and expose them, maybe it will lead us to finding him. And Brian's current disturbing actions, in my opinion, can also be shown in the past, aside from the abuse. If you take a look at his Instagram and his artwork, which I know many of you have, there's some pretty disturbing things. Here's some of his handiwork. So now we take a look back at the stickers. At first, they just look like ordinary traveling stickers on a van, no big deal. But let's look at sticker number 1. Life is good in the woods. This sticker is from Etsy. It seems simple, a nice sticker. It's interesting that the saying says life is good in the woods, and in the picture shows some trees and a tent. Let's go to the area where Gabby was found. Spread Creek Dispersed Camping Area. The woods and a tent. Or was it a tarp? Remember when Brian hitchhiked? According to the girl who gave him a ride, her name's Miranda Baker, she said Brian told them that he's been camping for days and only had a tarp. Life is good in the woods. So hear me out on the other 2 and you'll see why this is important. Number 2, today's a great day, Venice, Florida. Guess who the FBI are searching for in Venice, Florida? That's right, Brian. Number 3, Desert Cosmic sticker. Now this one took a little bit of time. I searched Desert Cosmic everywhere and then looked again. This sticker is a triangle. Desert Cosmic Triangle. And there was a sticker that I did find on Redbubble. It was similar to this one. It wasn't the exact same one, but I'm not sure when that was actually created. Could be very recently since, the news came out. But the Desert Cosmic Triangle leads me to something called the Nevada Triangle. And the Nevada Triangle is like the Bermuda Triangle, in a sense. People go missing without a whole lot of explanation. And a man named Steve Fawcett was a wealthy man who flew his plane back in 2008. And he went missing one day while he was going on a flight. He told friends he was going to return in a couple hours and never returned home. There was a recorder on board, but it didn't work to trace him. Eventually, he was found, and so were his remains. Now, before I go deeper into that, let's just backtrack for a second to the stickers. The order Brian did this was interesting. Number 1, it's in a diagonal. Number 2, Venice, Florida. Number 3, the cosmic triangle. And in real life, we have number 1, Gabby's found in the woods. Number 2, Brian is somewhere in Venice, Florida, or was. Number 3, Gabby's remains were found, just like Steve Fawcett. Little mementos of his journey. Let me show you something that's a little mind-blowing. In my opinion, it is. It shows me that he's clever, he's crafty, he's calculating, and he's giving tells, even taunting. Let's look at the map where the Nevada Triangle is. The triangle is said to be within Reno, Las Vegas, and Fresno. Let me show you where Steve Fawcett was found in this triangle. Look a little closer. You know what's in it? That's right, Yosemite. Where have we heard of that before? And there's no service in that triangle. No service in Yosemite. This to me is disturbing. And at this point, speaking of threes, I do wonder whether there was anything that resembled a triangle or something of a 3 where Gabby was found. Or maybe this taunting was after the fact. I don't know. It's that messed up. Anything is possible at this point. Stay tuned for more. And about the number 3, because as I was scripting this video and started thinking about that, I came upon Brian's drawing with Krusty the Clown. And it says, "A very holy Krusty to go with my holy Zoidberg. Any ideas for a holy trinity?" Maybe he likes the number 3. And with this little stunt with the stickers, which is maniacal to me at this point, I think the police need to look back at the Moab murders. 'Cause this, my friends, is not normal. And there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of remorse here, in my opinion. And maybe I'll also leave you with a little cliffhanger. Might be something, might be nothing. Something I need to look into further. Brian's placement of the stickers is curious to me. Number 1, 2, 3 in a diagonal. And I ask myself, is he just slapping them up there randomly, or is he spacing them for a reason? He seems like a pretty intentional guy at this point, just like his texts. Even when it comes to a bookmarker. On his Instagram account, he talks about putting bookmarks in his beloved Fight Club book. But not anyone will do. It says, "I've taken Chuck's books on 100-mile treks through the AT, and there's nothing worse than losing my page. I'm not comfortable putting some generic marker in between such powerful pages, so I decided to print my own." Intentional. That's the kind of guy he seems to be. And as I was looking at the sticker's placement, a few things came up. I was reading this out to my husband, the script, and told him about the 3 stickers and telling him the story about 1, 2, 3 and in a diagonal. And he told me randomly, he said it reminded him about Orion's belt. And he said he was just watching a video a few days ago about Orion's belt. Totally random statement, but it was a good one. And then I remembered an article with Brian's sister, and she showed letters and texts from Gabby. Gabby talked about every night looking at the stars, and the first thing they look for is Scorpio. Interesting. Here's what she said. "The sky here is so open, there's more stars than I've ever seen. Scorpio is so big and bright every night. It's always the first one me and Uncle Brian spot." Scorpio. Brian is a Scorpio. He was born November 18th. And then I got curious, because it made me think of the Zodiac Killer. That's the book that both Gabby and Brian read. And side note, a lot of Brian's books are based on serial killers, and they read them together. And I look at the stickers again and the way they're spaced apart, thinking about constellations. I match it to possibly Aries. I said, wait a minute, what was Gabby's sign? And I looked up her birthday, which is March 19th. And I thought, is that Pisces or Aries? And it's actually the cusp, so some people lean either way. So the cliffhanger is, did Gabby call herself Pisces, or did she call herself an Aries? We need to find that out. Because if so, here's how it lines up. You see how the first sticker is further away than the others, and then it goes like the Aries symbol? Minus that big blurb at the bottom? Well, he only had 3 stickers. But in the Aries one in this picture, there's 4. That's needed. And a lot of people have said in my comments, not all, but a lot, that I'm giving this guy too much credit. I'm saying, maybe you're not giving him enough. He's intentional, just like his bookmarks. And these stickers after Gabby's death on her van are intentional. Even the order of them, 1, 2, 3. Perhaps even in the astrological placement. The texts were intentional, and I believe he'll have more out there that's intentional. And this isn't the first person to do these types of things in the true crime world. And many like to taunt, not only for what they've done, but who's watching now. And Brian gets something out of it, for some reason or another, or he wouldn't do it. Maybe there'll be more tells, and maybe through these patterns, we'll be able to find him together. People have patterns, and how you do one thing is how you do everything. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please like and please share this video out. Let's find Brian. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.